I would be against him receiving anything less than 20 plus years in prison. And
20 years.
I would have a hard time believing he could be rehabilitated. This was a killing.
He's beyond rehabilitation. 20 years minimum, beyond rehabilitation, 17 years old.
This is a political killing.
It was a political killing.
Gonna be hilarious. So we're either going to be like, meh.
Hilarious. It'll be so hilarious.
We're gonna be laughing our asses off and having a blast. So it's pretty much an emotional free roll for me.
Laughing our asses off and having a blast. LOL. Like, if you can't see this as like being like the destructive, like partisan hackery, like my side versus your side politics, like it's actually disgusting. But at the end of the day, it's all just team sports, baby.
Destiny has gone onto the website predictit.com and and he's making a bet. Just to explain Predictit for everybody, you have the ability to bet for and against an event taking place. The probability of that event taking place is represented by a number. When Destiny purchased these shares, they said there was an 83% chance that he would not be the nominee, right, of the Democratic Party. Now, if you believe that 83% chance is too low, meaning he's definitely not going to be the nominee, I'm 100% sure, then you would buy those shares at 83 cents. And then when the nomination is determined this summer, if Bernie Sanders is not the nominee, you would gain from 83% to 100. So you'd get a 17% return, right, on your money. Now, if Bernie Sanders is the nominee, you lose it all. Now, the one thing about Predictit is you're able of selling your bet, close your position before the event takes place. So if it becomes more likely that Bernie Sanders becomes the nominee and those numbers go up, then you might want to cut your losses. Cut your losses immediately. Cut your losses embarrassingly and on stream. That might be an example of what you could do. And you would get some of your money back.
So what Mike is talking about, that panic sell right there, is very, very common bad investment advice. The point at the time, also keep in mind as well, because some people seem to forget this because they make a really big deal about whether or not I gain or lose $850 or $1,000. I don't really care at the end of the day. All I said at the time was that if you're going to go on every single day and you're going to make predictions about which candidate you think is going to be it, and I really did at the time think that I don't think Bernie can do it. And I felt pretty strongly about it at the time. I don't think my word is worth anything. If I'm not even willing to put a little bit of money behind it, like, why am I going to sit here and pretend that I know what I'm talking about to you guys if I'm not even willing to stake like $1,000 on it? Like, well, what the fuck? Why would you listen to anything I say? Like, I'm sitting here telling you, like, oh, I'm very confident about this. Well, am I? Are you? If you're that confident, why don't you fucking bet on it? Well, I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. Maybe it's like a perverse way of thinking of like political commentary, but like if you're so confident about your takes, put some money behind it. Let's see how confident you actually are. Let's see if you win in the long run on your political takes. I'd be curious on that. But yeah, that's kind of my view. So I put money on Bernie losing 5 months ago because I just didn't think he could do it. Or however many months ago, because it seemed like he could never move above a certain level of national support. His base is too young. He doesn't have the minority support. Yeah, the Democratic Party is generally more moderate, even though Mike spent all these times arguing the opposite on all of that the youth vote would turn out, that the Democratic Party is actually way more progressive. Remember, that was our first debate with Mike. He was trying to make the argument to me that the Democratic Party is actually way more progressive than that. And that Bernie, just isn't moving high in the national polls because there's so many people running. But once they start dropping out, a lot of those will go to Bernie. By the way, Warren dropping out, that might not even help Bernie that much. Most of those people might actually end up going to Biden. We don't even know yet. Even though all these Bernie bros are crying about Warren spoiling the election for Bernie, she might have actually been helping him if she could gather up some delegates and then pledge him to Bernie at the end. Her dropping might actually just send more votes towards Biden. But
now it would be giving up. It would be admitting that you were wrong for many, many, many months, and you were passionately wrong, and you were blatantly wrong in front of everybody, which would be kind of embarrassing. And it would hurt your ego because it would be clear that you were just an amateur and you didn't know what the fuck you're talking about. But you would at least save a few $100. Or you could
keep in mind, when I call other people amateurs or stupid as fuck, I'm usually criticizing their thought process, not their conclusions. I don't really know if anybody's going to win or lose. I'm not that divine of a political fucking god. But I'll admit that openly. But I don't claim to know that 100%. These are just my takes and my views, and then I have my reasons for backing it up. I'm usually critical of other people's reasonings when they start telling me they don't believe certain polls or the youth vote is going to turn out massively, etc., etc. But
ride it down with the ship. Ride it all the way down. Show those Bernie bros you know what you're talking about. You know politics. You don't need to save $800 or $500. Let it ride, baby. Let it ride. I mean, that would be someone who is confident and smart. You know?
So speaking of confidence, Mike tried to show me up by betting on Bernie in the Iowa primary. He bet on Bernie, and then he sold it before the primary was over because he was so fucking scared that Bernie might not win.
No, that's what they would do. They would go like, you know what? It's a temporary fluctuation. I'm sticking with it. Now, so let's go ahead. So does everybody
So my prediction has never been a temporary fluctuation. Mine has been one that I've held, I think, since about Biden got in. That's been my prediction. It hasn't fluctuated just because somebody might have won 1 or 2 primaries.
Are you really that confident? Yeah, of course. He has no chance.
What a fucking idiot.
I don't understand how he could be such a character. Why has he become a character of himself? He's always been this way. All of these guys have always been this way. I hope that's one thing we walk out of this shitty lefty arc realizing, is that all of these guys on the left, these people are all just hacks. At the end of the day, what's important to them is satisfying a political ideology. They don't really care about how they get to any conclusions or looking at any data or whatever. They just have an ideology and they want to feed into it. That's all they care about. Like, they have sometimes they have some good insight if their ideology doesn't lead them astray, but you always have to question whatever they say because you don't know at the end of the day if they used a good thought process to arrive somewhere or if they were just like adhering to a very strict and rigorous political ideology.
Lily Blair.
People like Destiny, which represent about 3% of the electorate. You know, the neolibs. Nobody's a fucking neolib in reality. They are overwhelmingly in the very wealthy people or in the...
So in reality, he was wrong. When in the past, when I said he was wrong, he is still wrong. I've been completely validated on that, at least based on Super Tuesday. Youth turnout didn't happen. Bernie's popularity with minorities has always been overstated, mainly around young voters, and a lot of Democrats see themselves as more moderate or conservative rather than hard left. We can even look at Congress and we can look at the Justice Dems to find further proof of this as well. Like
DC, New York, professional media consulting party circles. They're not actual voters. The fiscal conservative, social liberal is not really a thing in American politics, right? To a 39 cents. So his value has declined from 87 cents a share to 61 cents. Now, if I were Destiny, I would see this clip and I would go, thank you, Mike, for reminding me. And I would cut my losses. I would cut them immediately. I would say, Mike was right. Thank you, Mike, for saving me all that money. I'm cutting my losses. I'm throwing in the towel. I would like to see that Destiny is still making this bet because we could probably assume that he quietly backed out from his bet. Even though he's still trying to spread the This is why he's a bad faith propagandist. Because he probably backed out of this bet.
Hold on 1 second. So you see, I bought 3 months ago. I haven't sold or bought or anything. I haven't panic sold or whatever. I've been sitting on these hardcore. That's cute that Mike would like assume that I would do what he does though, buy and sell because I'm scared of my prediction. But okay.
But he's still trying to spread the meme. So he's like putting bad information out to his community while quietly protecting himself. I also did a bet. I don't know if you know, but I have 1,349 shares of Bernie Sanders to win the Iowa caucus. Now, normally I wouldn't make this kind of bet. This is pretty rich for my blood. But I can't make fun of Destiny and then not do a bet myself, right? I have to do it. I have to.
So he backed out of that bet before the Iowa caucus was over because he is actually a coward. He sold them.
To do it. So there you go. We'll see who's right. You know, if I lose it, that would suck. You know, it will suck. But I'm going to go, I believe. I'm not a coward. I'm a morally consistent enemy.
Hi,
Read this shit. I'm getting
Steven.
triggered. Where do I see my open orders? What is this shit-ass website?
Holy fuck. Pee-pee laugh.
Okay, we're done making easy money off of Bernie. All right, hold on. Fuck, I gotta blow my nose. 1 second.
Yeah, it's called conviction, Jordan. So here's the thing about betting. Don't bet. Absolutely do not make bets. And there's one small caveat. If you have absolute conviction in something, I think that it's time. I think it's fine to bet. As long as you have absolute conviction. You can afford to lose all the money. But you know what? I'm going to go down with my ship. I'm going to go down with it.
Oh my god.
I hope this video includes him selling his shares before the caucus ends. Damn, how do you have no integrity? How do you have such a lack of spine?
They're just so creepy.
Sell your bet shares. Oh, I already did. Chat, I'm going to tell you. I'll be honest with you. Once I heard they were reporting 62%, I sold my shares because I knew this is exactly what they were going to do. I knew it. I knew it was exactly what they were going to do. And I was going to confess to you later.
I saw this tier list. It's like unbearable. Mike from PA. Destiny is excellent. I was like, what? And Vouch, I was like, what is this? What is this tier list? And then it went ping. Oh, I know why this person hates me. I remembered it. And my great memory kicked in. And let's see. Top reply. Well, second top reply. The other one is Vouch saying good list. Interesting. Top reply, I was like, oh, I remember this account. You said it was cringe when I called out Destiny and your own followers owned you. LMAO. 802 likes. Now, I can tell you something, chat.
802 likes, guys. I totally owned him because I got 802 likes.
Don't do this well on my replies, okay? My replies to tweets typically get like 10 to 50 likes, okay?
The reason why this got more engagement,
main
Mike,
tweets,
is because it showed up on your feed because you retweeted your own fucking tweet. Mike, you retweeted your own tweet. We can see it. It's on the screen, you dumb fuck. Oh my God.
usually get between like 200 and 500 likes. That's decent engagement. I'm a smaller Twitter account. I post earnest tweets, not jokes. I'm doing pretty well on Twitter. That's fine. To get 802 likes on a reply is hilarious. As meanwhile,
Oh no, he didn't rehearse this. He thought he had more. He thought he had more. He just realized it. Oh no. Do you see what he's gonna? Meanwhile, the main one only got 100 likes. I need to fucking
account. I post earnest tweets, not jokes. I'm doing pretty well on Twitter. That's fine. To get 802 likes on a reply is hilarious. As meanwhile, and then I post it. Then he.
God, I hope I never get to this level. If I'm shitposting on Twitter, it's because fucking Twitter is for shitposting. But imagine somebody's like, how did yesterday go? Yesterday was awesome. I got into a fight with this guy, and other people on Twitter started owning him. He got totally owned. He got ratioed. He got owned so hard on Twitter. It was amazing watching it happen. He got fucking owned on Twitter. Like,
politics is not entertainment where you have a bunch of like different actors in the politics sphere that you like. Like, I like Bastiat. I like Destiny. I like Vaush. No, dipshit. That's not what politics is about, you stupid face. It's about trying to exercise power.
by the way, the biggest point where Mike could exercise power is the local level, which he says he doesn't want to because it's not money in it. So much irony here, but yeah. Fuck, does anybody have that video? Because he's on stream admitting it, but he keeps DMCAing it anytime it comes up. He even DMCAs the streamables. If anybody has it, it'd be funny to go over that again. Destiny here. Oh shit, we have a non-DMCA'd clip. Uh-oh, hurry up before he gets to it.
Involved in the process. Seems like that might be more fruitful than having another one of these discussions that does nothing.
Okay. The reason why people organize around presidential elections is because they get tens of billions of dollars of free media. It's a unifying election that everybody in the entire country knows about, and it gives us a common language that we can reach more and more people. If you go into mutual aid stuff, that is inherently a very local action. If I go and do mutual aid shit, my audience will go from thousands of people to 50 people.
What?
Because they're going to all be in their own communities doing local actions and not doing anything that's oriented towards national politics.
Imagine missing the point of every single political movement in the history of your entire life so succinctly in one sentence. I can't even imagine a more perfect sentence to show how misaligned your priorities are if your goal is actual political power. Why would I want to do mutual aid when it would spur all of my viewers on to actually do better in all of their communities? I'd lose all of my audience. I'd have no money. Like, how perfect is this? It is the most perfect sentence I've ever seen in my life for somebody to just out themselves as being not in politics for power, but just for entertainment purposes.
What?
This is a defeating, and also, can we be real? Who's gonna turn? Can you show me?
I think Lucius Fox or whatever is the guy, and even he realizes how fucking stupid this is.
Mutual aid streamers of people that just sit there discussing mutual aid all day.
What are you talking about? You can diversify your content. You can talk about more than just that.
Yep.
What?
Okay, guys. I mean, And my politics is a socialist politics, which means I want to exercise power for the benefit of the worker, the disenfranchised,
As long as he still makes money off of it, by the way.
the minority, the poor.
As long as they're not too poor that they can't subscribe to a stream or gift subs, right? Not too poor, okay.
I have nothing in common with Bastiat, the gas attorney.
Well, of course you don't. It's because Bastia actually passed the bar. He's an actual attorney. What would you have in common with him? Well, he's a lawyer, right? What?
By the way, chat, let me just say this. Let me say one thing. I want to say one thing. For those of you who support the stream financially, I want you to know one thing. It serves a dual role. Obviously, the money goes to me, and I spend it how I see fit on myself. Occasionally, I give it to other people, you know, and do good things with it, but it's mostly just mine. But the second thing you do is you trigger the fuck out of Destiny and every one of his orbiters. They get so frustrated that I make more money on Twitch than he ever did. Even though he's been streaming longer, I make more money per month than he ever did, and Hassan makes like 20 times more than he ever made. Ever. When he was a partner. And when you lose your partnership, chat, the fees you get go up significantly.
What is he talking about?
So he's making less and he's... Oh!
I don't know if Mike knows any of the numbers for who's making what. There is a decent chance Mike probably makes, if we're being honest, Mike probably makes a little bit more money than my YouTube editor. Okay? Although I will say there is an extra layer of irony that a leftist is attacking me and trying to say that he thinks he's better than me because of the amount of money that he makes. Mike from PA reacts to Rittenhouse. Oh boy.
Or in the
Oh no. Okay. This will be my one moment of enjoyment today, okay? Because, oh my God, I can't imagine the seething. Holy shit. Okay, hey, remember, okay? When you think of who are your favorite center left, far left streamers, okay? This stream here, this is the only one that called our boy Biden make it into the White House as early as we did. And also from the very start, called our boy, well, not our boy, but called it Kyle Rittenhouse would absolutely walk, okay? Now, we didn't know that absolutely, but breaking news, DGG, okay? Remember to like and subscribe, thumbs up those videos, okay?
A judge bring up the founders after finding a white kid not guilty of murder is one of those big red flags. So here's what I would say.
Oh, we
As
got a
far
hedge.
as I'm concerned,
We got
from
a
a
hedge.
legal perspective, that was not self-defense. But
Got a hedge.
let's be practical. Let's be honest here. For the average everyday person, you show a guy who has a mixed criminal record rushing at someone. You see Kyle Rittenhouse blubbering on the stand.
Wait, hold on. Was his criminal record brought up at all in court? Did they bring up his criminal record of Rosenbaum in court? Not at all. Okay, I didn't think that was ever brought up, but I might have missed that testimony. So okay, he's just making shit up. Okay,
And a pretty piss poor job of the prosecution of making a strong legal argument. They're going to default to not wanting to ruin this kid's life, right?
my favorite thing here is how absolutely fucking brainless this guy is when he actually went to, and my understanding is he passed law school, right? Trying to say that, like, okay, maybe from a legal perspective, but we can't trust a jury for anything. Or but yeah, welcome. This is what application of the law is. Okay, now we're past theory of the law. Now we're to application of the law. You can't be like, well, I don't think it was I don't think legally it works, but every single jury is going to say otherwise. Well, then legally, that's essentially what it is, because at the end of the day, juries are the ones that make the decisions on this. Like, you should understand this, though, right? I think the prosecution did about as well as they could have. I thought the prosecution's closing was pretty strong. I didn't watch the second part of it, which I should have, but for the first part that I watched, I think the prosecution did as much as they could with such a shit case. Like,
and if a lot of these people are white people, They're going
A lot of them are white because Kenosha is white. It's like 83 or 73% white or whatever. Like, what do you mean? Of course.
to identify with white guy not wanting cars burned and shit.
I like you say, of course they're white so they can identify with a white guy. That's why we that. Yes, Mike. That's actually why we have a jury of our peers. Good job. That is correct. Much the same that if you had a black person on the stand, you probably would want you wouldn't want like 12 fucking white guys deciding, like his favorite, right? This is generally how, like, why we opt for the jury of your peers system or whatever, is because you want people that are in a similar circumstance, in similar situations, living in similar areas, making decisions about you. You don't want 12 jurors brought in from fucking New York for a case that's being tried, in fucking rural Iowa.
This is middle class, as I say, bourgeois politics.
Oh, for sure. Kenosha fucking Wisconsin, known for its abundance of middle-class bourgeois inhabitants. Like, average salary, $180K a year. 80% of these people remote work to fucking San Francisco. Programmers, engineers, of course, absolutely.
Completely. This is how it goes.
Oh my God.
And to me, the lesson to be learned here is that this is one of the moves that will have the moves like, the Black Panthers existed because community self-defense. And if you're going to have protests and they're going to be menaced by armed reactionaries, then the left...
Okay, people are posting the median income of Kenosha. Do you think that my entire rant was serious? You understand why? Wait, I can't tell if I'm... Do you think I was seriously implying that the average person in Kenosha makes $180K a year and remote works to San Francisco? Okay.
And protesters were going to need to have their own organized groups of people to protect the protests. They can't rely on the police.
Mr. Richards?
So they need to rely on their own
Any word from the state?
defense.
Oh, it was just to point out how stupid Mike was being. Oh, okay, maybe. The average income in Kenosha is like $29-30K. I don't think there are very middle-class bourgeois people living there.
All right, the motion
Shadows
of the
covering
defendant is granted.
Mike's face? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me get
Charges
Mike's
against
face on
the
here.
Defendant on all counts are dismissed with prejudice, and he is released from the obligation of his bond. Anything else? No. Thank you. Good day.
Oh, wait, this was post-verdict.
Oh boy. I think the closing arguments were very strong for the prosecution. But we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see if some of the weaker parts of the trial by the prosecution, if if they did a lot of jury consultants in the defense.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey Frogan, what's up?
He's reliving his Bernie trauma in real time right now.
If the verdict is guilty, would they handcuff him and take him away on camera? Yes. If he's guilty, he'll be taken into custody right away.
Oh, he's so excited for it,
If
too.
he's guilty, he will not leave the courtroom. But I have some curiosity, sympathy to know if he could be rehabilitated. I would be against him receiving anything less than 20 plus years in prison. And
20 years.
Myself, I would have a hard time believing he could be rehabilitated. This was a killing.
He's beyond rehabilitation. 20 years minimum beyond rehabilitation. 17 years old.
Okay, this is not something. This is a political killing.
Political.
One of those.
It was a political killing.
Things which is separate and apart from, say, like a moment of passion or taking advantage of some sort of stealing something or getting drunk and hurting someone that way. The opportunity for rehabilitation for Kyle Rittenhouse is very low. And That's just my personal
All right,
opinion, you
members
know.
of the jury, have you,
His behavior,
conducted a
his lack of remorse.
Would you give your juror number, please?
54.
54. And has the jury reached a verdict as to each count of the information?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
One verdict and one verdict only.
Yes.
Would you hand all of the paperwork to the bailiff, please?
This is the ones that you didn't know.
Everything?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. See that too, please, Mrs. Chairman? Thank you.
Now, I would be, chat, the way I feel is if he walks, whatever, we expected that because he's a white conservative.
We're hedging so hard. The copium is so real. We knew it all along, guys.
Never brought to justice. If he is convicted, that's a pure fucking free roll. It's gonna be hilarious. So we're either going to be like, meh,
Hilarious. It'll be so hilarious.
you expect, or we're gonna be laughing our asses off and having a blast. So it's pretty much an emotional free roll for me.
Laughing our asses off and having a blast. LOL. Like, if you can't see this as like being like the destructive, like partisan hackery, like my side versus your side politics, like it's actually disgusting. It's actually disgusting. Like, talk about not giving a fuck about any of the victims. Well, if we say victims, any of the two people that were shot, I mean, they're victims to some extent, whether victims of circumstance or Rittenhouse. The other guy that got shot, like, but at the end of the day, it's all just team sports, baby, you know?
Me.
His chat is making prison rape jokes, are they? Earlier? Okay, I'll take your word for it, but I don't care that much. Who was, oh, somebody sent me this tweet. Dude, fuck. It's gotta be so much fun to be a lefty, and you can just, like, make death threats and shit. Well, actually, wait, hold on. Let me see if this is a real tweet first. Oh, nope, it's still up. This guy's verified as well. It must be fun. I hope someone kills. Star. Like, geez, that's got to be cool, I guess. Like, to just, as long as you're on like the right political side, you can just make death threats, and it's like all good, I guess. Whatever.
I will be kind of pissed if he walks because it would be unfair, but
Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. That's the first count of the information. Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
yeah, they're gonna not guilty everything.
As to the third count of the information,
If the first
unknown
one is
male,
guilty.
we, the jury,
Not
find the
guilty.
defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the
getting Bernie
information,
flashbacks.
Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read?
I'm not surprised.
Would you wish the jury polled? No. Okay. Okay, folks, your job is done, and we started just about 3 weeks ago.
Kill
And
all fascists.
I told you.
Here come the fake tears.
2 weeks is
Absolutely
3
fake.
This is 3 weeks. You were a wonderful jury to work with. You were punctual. You were attentive. And the
Not a surprise.
six over here who had a very difficult job of.
All right, well,
Listen to this. So all these fucking dudes that were at this bar were intimidated by the bartender. Am I wrong, Amy? Do you remember this?
No. Wait,
They were.
what?
You don't. Okay, Jesus Christ. All right. So there was this like bartender who was like LA hot, you know, and they were so intimidated. Like I wanted to get more French fries or some shit or more ketchup, and they were like, "No, dude. Oh, and they were all like intimidated by the bar. And I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I just like walked up. It was a very Twitch dude moment. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
I definitely don't remember that.
All right, well, you don't remember. Okay, it's fine. It's just something I noticed from the other dudes, and I was like, what's wrong with these guys? Well, LA Hot is pretty hot, so let's be honest here. Yeah, she reminded, I think she looked like Scarlett Johansson. Bent over and went,